This is a tag video started by Tania of Bits and Bags and Liz of Nothing But Bags. I will have both of their original videos linked in the description box below. The premise of this tag is to pick 4 or 5 bags that tell some kind of secret about you, something that the viewing audience doesn't know or probably doesn't know about you. In preparing for this video, I found that there was a theme going through the 5 bags that I picked. Or more accurately, a theme going through the secrets about me. And that is resistance. Each of these 5 bags represents how I am resistant in various ways to a variety of things. And I've known for a long time that this is part of my personality, but it really came through in these choices. That said, our bags are usually things associated with positivity, things that we like. So I was kind of surprised to find this. But I did find it interesting because particularly in the last bag that I'll show you today, I'll get more in depth into the conversation here. There's been something that I've been struggling with a little bit lately. I've been struggling with how to interpret it and articulate it, and I've hinted at it in a couple of recent videos, but I think I really nailed it down here. So be sure to stay around to the end for that one. And I wonder, after listening to this video and hearing what it is I mean by resistance, I wonder if you will find bags in your collection that are related in some way to resistance in yourself, or if you find other connections with your bags that are somehow related to negative concepts rather than positive ones. So stay tuned. And welcome, I'm Autumn Beckman, and I'm here to help you live your most luxurious life within your budget. I post new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those and so you don't miss my daily community posts where I share the best sales of the day and fabulous handbags that I find. Also, don't miss my website, autumnbeckman.com/shop. That's where I have handbags and accessories available for purchase, as well as the My Handbag Collection Organizer. These are planner pages that I've designed to help you organize and curate your handbags and your life. The heart of which are the item tracker pages. This is where you can track everything you'd want to know about your handbags and your small goods. I also have wish list trackers, purchase trackers, shipment trackers, lots of trackers. I even have a few pages that are designed to track how and how often you use your items in various ways. And I have calendar pages in a variety of formats so you can find what works best for you, plus so much more. Now, the first bag that represents something that you may not know about me is this one. This is the Baggu Bowler, and I specifically chose this one in the black and white gingham. And the reason for that, what this represents for me, is my resistance to food in the way that America often does food. So I may not look it, but I actually try to eat pretty healthy. Back in Houston, we would eat out a lot. But lately, and since we've been in Oregon, we eat out much less. I've always been somebody who cooks, and I enjoy cooking, and I make healthy recipes. And we've been doing that a lot more lately. And this bag particularly represents this when I do something to it. When I add these 2 bag charms, this is a carrot and a little corn plush toy. I'll link these and everything else I can that I've mentioned in the video in the description box below, and if I remember, I'll also put it in a pinned comment in the comment section. Why does this bag represent food resistance? Well, I got it specifically because the black and white gingham to me, especially with these cute little vegetable charms, that would be a great combination to wear to some of the food stands and the farmers markets that we go to now. Now, back in Houston, we didn't get to do that very often. There were farmers markets here and there, but where we are in Oregon, they're everywhere. They aren't usually year-round. Things are very, very seasonal here. That was not a thing in our lives in Houston, seasonal food, but it has become part of it, and I really like that. I also love visiting farm stands, doing what's called the fruit loop up here. It's this loop you can do with all these farms that sell what they grow. We did that last month to get fruits like peaches and apples and blueberries, and we'll go again next month for the fall harvest. That's something that I've always had a little bit of a, I guess, romanticized view in my head about, is being able to eat fresh and foods that taste good. Like fruits and vegetables in the grocery stores these days taste different from what they did when I was a kid. But when you go to the farm stands, the taste is back. So I feel really fortunate that we're able to do that here and buy local produce, support local farmers, and because of this, we can eat more healthily than we were before. Now for the second secret in the bag, the secret is that we went out of town this weekend. We went to an event called Dock Sand in Seaside, Oregon. It's on the coast. And this is a meetup of a bunch of dachshunds. If you have a dachshund, you're invited to go. And there are something like 400 dachshunds that show up. It was amazing. We had so much fun. Baron, he's at least 13 years old now. He's an old man. He likes to just chill and sleep and cuddle and be under blankets and be warm. So going out on the beach and socializing is not his favorite thing these days. So as much as we could, we just kept him bundled up and comfortable in his stroller. We took him out one night without the stroller and he got pretty tired on the way back. He's such a cutie pie. Roxy, on the other hand, her absolute favorite thing in the entire universe is the beach. She loves to run on the beach. She gets so happy and excited. She gets this big smile on her face and she just does these giant circles and comes right back and then runs again and comes right back. There was only one time on this trip that she ran and didn't come right back, and it's because she found herself amongst a group of kids that had a remote control car and she had never seen one before and she was fascinated by it. She thought it was very cool. But then they started chasing her with it, so she came running back to me. She wasn't scared of it. She was having fun. But she got to meet other dogs, and she's a fairly reactive dog. When she sees other dogs, she barks. Not all the time, but much of the time. But they tend to recognize their own kind. So I wasn't sure how she would react with all these other dachshunds, but one of them that was off leash came up to her when she was on the leash, and it was very active and playful. It was a younger dog. And they started running around in circles together, and she was so happy. And later I took her away from the group, let her off leash, and then she started running around with another dog that was over there. She loved it so much. That might have been the best time she's ever had on the beach. She had so much fun. So what bag am I talking about here that's related to that? That is this bag, which you guys have never seen before. And what does this have to do with a secret or with resistance? Well, this is the bag that I carried on the trip. The resistance part is, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you've probably heard me say that I don't like backpacks, that I'm resistant to backpacks for a variety of reasons, largely because I associate them with children, as I used to be a teacher. Now, I think in this case it's a little different because I'm using it as a utilitarian piece. It's not like a fashion backpack, but I have been searching for years for the perfect bag to use when I'm walking the dogs. I need it to be hands-free. I need it to hold my water bottle and the dog's water bottle, and often also Paul's water bottle because he doesn't carry any kind of bag. And then sometimes I need extra things like maybe a towel because we're on the beach. We need to rub all the sand off the dogs before we get in the car. Plus being able to carry my wallet and a few other little essentials. This backpack was absolutely perfect for that. It was comfy, it has padded shoulders. And guys, this was $25 on Amazon, so I will link it below. It has so many pockets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. There's a space inside to put your laptop if you want to, in the big container in the back. This held everything that I needed, no problem. It was comfortable to wear for a long time. I was really impressed with it, especially it being only $25. And I'll show you these. Of course, I had to wear my 2 little dachshund charms from Portland Leather Goods. I don't think that they sell the dachshund charms anymore, but I'll link whatever charms they do have. Oh, and this has the outside water bottle pockets, so I'm able to put the dog's water in there for easy access. And then this pocket has 2 more little slip pockets, good for your phone. It was just perfect. Bag number 3 is my Empire from Coach, specifically the one in the 40 centimeter size, so 40 centimeters across the bottom. This is the one I got a year ago in the Merlot color. I have been tempted to get the olive one from this year. I wish, like many of you, they'd released it in a smaller size than 40, but I haven't gotten it because I've barely ever carried this bag. I've only carried it about 3 times. There are sort of 2 things that I can talk about with this bag in terms of secrets. One is I got it with the intention of being able to carry my laptop and notebooks. Many times throughout my life, I've taken journals or my laptop to a bar or a cafe, and I'll sit and have a drink and I'll work by myself. And I love doing that. It helps me be more creative, and it's just something I enjoy. Finding a good place, the atmosphere, having a nice drink. I've always loved doing that. However, I have found that since we've moved to Oregon, I haven't been doing that. I've only done it maybe twice in 2 years. And the main reason is that I work from home now, whereas I used to teach and leave the house. So I'm resistant to leaving because I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of time. Not just the travel time to get there and back, but figuring out where to go, because we've gone out so little in terms of restaurants and bars and things that I don't know where to go. Whereas in Houston, I had a list of places that I could pop into because I knew the city a lot better. And I'm also a little resistant to going out and spending the money even on one drink when we have that here. We have things to munch on and things to drink, and it's a nice place. I have a nice office. I have a nice outside area. So since I've created this really nice space for myself, why do I need to go somewhere and spend time and money, right? Then this is bag number 4. This is a Coach bag. I don't know the official name of it, but it is from the Legacy line. It has the Legacy stripes inside. It's a briefcase kind of bag. So again, I got this thinking that I could put my laptop and notebooks and go out somewhere besides my office to work. What this bag represents about me that's kind of a secret, maybe not to some of you who've been around a while, is that I'm resistant to color. Now that may not be obvious looking at some of the bags behind me. Greens and blues I make exception for. Some purples I also do. But generally speaking, my handbag collection is very dominated by browns. I find brown, particularly brown leather bags, the easiest to style with my wardrobe. And I have a pretty basic wardrobe, blue jeans and a top, usually in a solid color. I like to use that as a base and then accessorize with bags and jewelry. But that feeling of being resistant to color also extends to my home decor. I'll post a video below of my office tour, which shows my office furniture and some of the color that I have in here. It's greens and turquoises and blues, similar to the color palette you see behind me. And I have this dichotomy about myself where I like things to be kind of classic and elegant. I like that kind of look. But I also really love kind of folksy, handmade, quirky, colorful things. For example, I have a little collection of Mexican artwork, which is very brightly colored. And I have a small collection of artwork that I've done and that other people have done, and much of that is brightly colored as well. And in my last office in Houston, I had a mix of all that together in one room, and it didn't quite work. And I've always had a little battle with myself, which one do I pick? Because I don't know how to incorporate them. I feel like with the classic look that's a little more monotone, even if it has some color, not monotone, monochromatic, I feel like I'm good with that all the time. But with the really colorful stuff, this may sound counterintuitive, but I get bored with that more quickly. So I like having a little collection of it, but I like having it a little hidden. So it's behind these cabinets right now in that little hallway thing that I built. You'll know what I'm talking about if you watch the office tour. But that said, with the bags too, I gravitate toward the neutrals, but every once in a while I like to have a little bit of color, but I also find that I don't wear the color very often. So I'm resistant to buying colorful bags or things with patterns because I know I'm a lot less likely to wear it, even if I really love it. And that brings me to secret and bag number 5. And the bag I've chosen for that is this Vera Bradley vintage tote in the Elizabeth pattern. I'll bring this closer so you can see it a little better. There you can see the pattern quite a bit better with all the florals. And then the inside has this blue gingham and more florals. And what this bag says about me lately is that I have been embracing some things that I've been resistant to for a long time. I have been resistant to trends. I'm resistant to childish things, or things that I deem childish, or that other people have told me are childish, and that I've been perhaps scolded for in the past. I'm resistant to things that are country-ish, like country decor. I'm resistant to things that are ultra feminine. I'm the kind of person that in high school, I've always been an artist, and I went to an art high school, and photography was one of my main artistic media. One of the things that I did was I had a series of photographs of roadkill. That's who I am. A lot of you have no idea that I'm interested in macabre things like that. I don't think most people would guess that looking at me or even getting to know me after a while, because it's not something I really talk about. I recently did a video about Labubu and some of my resistance to Labubu. Even though the very first time I saw them, I thought those are really cute. Here, I have one at my desk here. I will bring it closer. Not that you don't know what they are, just to illustrate a point here. I thought that the big toothy grin there with the sharp teeth was really cute. A lot of people see these and they think they're ugly and horrible and look demonic. I think they're adorable because I like macabre kind of things. When I did the Labubu video, some of you commented that you don't like those because they're creepy, but you do like dolls and cute things, cute stuffed animals. I generally don't. I like weird, creepy, macabre stuff. That's one of the reasons I like the stuffed animals from Coach, is because they are a little different. They're made to look like they have wear and they have stitches. They're almost like something out of a Tim Burton film. And that's why most of my life I've been resistant to things like florals, which are so feminine, or lace, or pink. I'm so resistant to pink. But despite all that, there are things about some of those things that I've been resistant to that I do like. And I have been allowing myself to express that I like them by adding some of them to my collection, like a floral bag or Labubu, which are so trendy. And a lot of you have been the reason for that. And it mostly had to do with things that some of you said to me about the Labubus, because I was expressing how I like them, but I feel like they're too childish to wear on a bag. And a lot of you were like, so what? If you like it, wear it. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So those are the 5 bags that tell 5 sort of secrets about me from the tag by Tania and Liz. And again, I will have their videos linked in the description box below. I will also link everything that I can that I mentioned in this video in the description box. And while you're down there, please check out my website, autumnbeckman.com/shop, and let me know what you think about bags in your collection and what they might say about you, particularly if you come up with something that's maybe a little negative, like resistance. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope to see you back here next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.